Andariki namaskaramlu. Today is a very good day for all of us, that we are going to have one more class on yoga. Today especially we will be dealing with any doubts, questions, clarifications, whatever in total course, especially yoga. So let us start with Vande Mataram, reciting by Chalaki and then Prarthana, then we will continue with the webinar. So let us request Chalachitibabu Garu to recite Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayajasitalam, Sasyasyaamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subrajyosna Pulla Kusumita Drumadala Shobhini Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini Sukhadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram
Vande Mataram. So, ధన్యవాదములండి చాలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Satyaji to chant Prarthana.
Namaskaram. Let's do meditation for a minute. Oh. Oh. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanaspata Anasrunvannotibhis Sidasadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinamavitriyavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave. Na Guroh Paramam Sishurasmi Guroh Matiras शक्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम
ధన్యవాదములండి సత్య గారు. Now let us request Prabhu garu to take over.
Hello, can you see me and hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we wanted to have a fully open session, interactive session. And one request that came was to explain the Prarthana slokas, which are very profound. We should have explained right in the beginning of the course rather than at the end of the course. So, but better late than never. So I will now explain the Prarthana slokas one by one. First, and then we'll take up any other question answers which have come up in the chat box. So the first is a Veda mantra. So, Satyaji, are you there?
yes, I am here.
Will you oblige us to chant only the first one? One by one, I want to explain. So please chant the first one. I'll explain after that, second and like that.
ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः.
Okay, this is a Veda mantra. It is addressing Ganapati. Now, the word Ganapati is interpreted in the modern days today in the Puranic Hinduism as the deity Ganapati. Whereas in the Veda mantra, it need not be the deity Ganapati, but the Pati of the Ganas. Ganas means groups. Various groups or various communities. The head of the community is also called Ganapati. Ganatantra. Democracy is called Ganatantra. So, Ganarajya. All these are the words used for groups of people, large groups of people, or democracy. That kind of meaning also can be derived. But in the modern terms, the word Ganapati is taken as our Vinayaka, who is the elder brother of Kumaraswamy, who is the Vigna, Hatra Vigna, Vinayaka. He can control the Vignas. We know all that. I don't have to tell you what is the importance of Ganapati. So taking it in that meaning, the modern day chanting of this mantra is always addressed as a prayer, seeking the blessings from Lord Vinayaka or Ganapati. Because when you start any any activity like today's class, when we start with invocation of Ganapati. You know that in any activity we start with invocation of Ganapati only, and as a prayer to allow this session to happen without any breaks or without any vignas. So Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe. We all, it is a plural being used. Hava is, Hota Hava, that is Yajna Pujane. So we all adore, pray, worship, or perform Havanam for Ganapati. And who is Kaving Kavinam Upavasravastavam? He is the greatest knower of things more than any other Kavi. Kaving Kavinam. Among all the scholars, Kavis, Kavi is a person who is a poet and also therefore is a scholar. All scholars are used the word Kavi, and in fact for the Supreme Being also, Kavir Manishi, Paribhu, Swayambhu, these are the words used in the Bhagavad Gita also and in other Puranas also, which means fully knowledgeable, having full knowledge, wisdom. In fact, Ganapati is supposed to be the deity of wisdom, Buddhi. That's why his wives are supposed to be Riddhi and Siddhi. So they are the wisdom, discriminatory power and wisdom. It is different from knowledge. Knowledge is lower, wisdom is higher. So Kavina Upavasravastavam is the highest in that domain. Jyeshtharajam, the first Lord. Brahmanam Brahmanaspati Vanusundha Jyotivis Sedasadanam. So we pray our obeisance, we pay our respect, we remember, we invoke Ganapati as the first sloka. Please, Satyaji, go to the second one.
Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinevati Dhina Mavitryavatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha.
So, as you know, we have three main deities who are invoked. One is Ganapati first, and then Saraswati and Lakshmi also we invoke in all the activities. So now Saraswati is being invoked. Prano, this is also a Veda mantra. Both the previous one and the present one are Veda mantras. So it is taken from the Saraswati Suktam. I have it with me in the Rig Veda, where the word Saraswati is used in two meanings. One is the river Saraswati, on whose banks the rishis of the Vedas composed the Vedic mantras in their ashramas. I have been to some of them, but a little late. I went only about 10 years back, but they were there about 10,000 years back. You can also go. They are on the banks of Saraswati River in Haryana. Of course, Saraswati River dried up. There is no water. Now they are trying to revive it. But you can see the empty canals, and on the banks of Saraswati River, these ashramas existed, and even now they exist as temples. Vasishtha Ashrama, Vishwamitra Ashrama, etc., etc. So I have been to various spots going back to 8000 BC, 7000 BC, Vanavali, Pirahana, Rakhi Gadi, 5000 BC. This is one meaning of the word Saraswati as a river. That is also referred in the Saraswati Suktam in the Rig Veda, which is so it is explained as the one which is flowing from the mountains. I went to the spot where Saraswati River originated from the Himalayan edges, the border of Himachal Pradesh with Haryana. It's called Adi Badri. So that's where in the rocks it comes out drop by drop. In salt water, I have drunk that water also, and then it merges into underground and disappears. And again it appears somewhere, a little patch, and again disappears. So it is mostly Antarlina, it is not visible, Only one or two places it is visible, and one such prominent place is at Badri. After crossing Badri, you can see one place called Mana village, which is the last village of India. When you go there, you will find Saraswati River gushing as a stream between two hidden rocks, and you can see it gushing, and on the top of it, one rock is kept to cross. That rock was kept by Bhima. So that gushing water is the only one place you can see Saraswati in a full-scale, full means in a strong water force. But otherwise, in Adibadri, it will be drop, falling from the rocks of the walls of Himalayan ridges, and then going into a small pond and then disappearing underground. It is underground mostly. So it dried up around 4000 BC and before Mahabharata war. And the second meaning, which is actually used in the Saraswati Suktam, which is explained in this mantra, is Goddess Saraswati, who is personification of knowledge. We all know who is Saraswati. Saraswati is not a human being. This personification of knowledge. If you want to know who is Saraswati, then we have a wonderful sloka. Omkara Panjara Sukhi. She is a parrot inside a cage called Om. Upanishad Udyana Keli Kalakanthi. She is a koel, cuckoo, singing beautifully in a garden called Upanishads. Agama Vipina Mayuri. And she is a peacock dancing beautifully in the forest called Vedas. Aryam Antar Vibhavaye. She lives in the hearts of the respected people. Dayavana Dirghanayana Desika Rupena Darshadaya. How does she appear to you? She appears in the disguise of your teacher. She will not appear directly. She will appear like your teacher. Desika Rupena Darshadaya. Abhyudayam. For what purpose? For your own progress. So this basically means the power of knowledge. Jnana Shakti is called Saraswati, but being personified as a personality. Vamakucha Vihita Veenam Vanim Sangita Matraga Vande. If you see for Saraswati, she has got 4 symbols of knowledge. One is a book in one hand, other is Japamala, which is spiritual knowledge, and the other is Veena, which is musical knowledge. So various forms of knowledge are kept in the form of Saraswati's hands. So it is like saying, today you can in fact add one laptop or some such thing also to convey the internet and all that. So knowledge manifests as Saraswati. It is not a human being. We give a human representation. We need not give. We just give for our own convenience. In fact, all gods and goddesses are not humans. We have given a humanoid representation for our own convenience. They may appear like that to some bhaktas sometimes, but they are not that. Even Vishnu himself is not humanoid. He appeared in a humanoid form when Arjuna asked for it after showing his Vishwarupa. His real form is Vishnu. So now Saraswati, Prano Devi Saraswati. So we are personifying the Jnana Shakti as Saraswati, and we are saying we prostrate, we do our namaskaram, pranam. If you go to North India, everybody who meets will say pranam. That's what it is. Prano Devi Saraswati Vageswa Vajimivati. She is the Lord of words. In fact, there is one temple near Hyderabad called Vardhan Temple of Saraswati, where there is a sloka written, Ya Varna Shabda Gadja Padja Rupatmika Ta Nityam Mamajihve Kshipram Mamajihve Vasatu Sarvada. That power of knowledge, which is manifesting itself as alphabets, letters, words, Varna, Shabda, Gadya, Padya, prose and poetry, and also Shloka, Mantra and Sutra. In Sanskrit, we have additional forms of knowledge. The Sutra and Mantra, they don't exist in any other language. So that power, which is knowledge, power of knowledge, is Jnana Shakti, which is manifesting itself in various forms like this, may always reside on my tongue continuously. This is a prayer. So we have many prayers for Saraswati. In fact, I can take a separate class on Saraswati Upasana. I am doing Saraswati Upasana by taking the help of Saraswati Sahasranama Stotram, which is a very unique, special Sahasranama Stotram. So, by those who perform Upasana of Saraswati, if Saraswati is pleased by their Upasana, they will become Anargala scholars. That means they can go on speaking without break. Knowledge will flow in their words automatically. In fact, the stories goes to say in the Saraswati Sahasrama Stotram that when Brahma created the universe, he was in a total quandary because he created the universe all right, but it was dead. There was no activity, there was no intelligence, there was no motion, nothing was there. Achetanam, Jadam. So he didn't know what to do. So he then started meditating or doing into Samadhi, and then Saraswati appeared to him and told, you, I will teach you the Sahasranama Stotram. You meditate on that. You perform your tapasya on that Sahasranama Stotra, which is having many mantras in it, more Bijaksharas mantras. Then, if you succeed in it, then I will manifest myself. I will become your wife. Then I will activate this Jada universe. So then Brahma performs a large period of time of penance, tapasya, using that Sahasranama Stotram. And then finally, Saraswati manifests itself and the entire creation becomes intelligent and active. Because finally it is all information. See, like DNA code also is information. So information means knowledge. Knowledge, information, power. That is Saraswati. Prano Devi Saraswati Vayes, the Lord of, she is the goddess of words. Vayeswar Vajinivati Deenamatrayavatu. May she live in our Deenva Buddhis. May she guide, may she protect our intellects. So that is the second sloka. I hope you have all understood the second mantra. Please, Satyaji, go to the third one.
Gurureva gati gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroh matirasti gurau mama pahi guru.
Wonderful. It is so enthralling chanting, Satyaji. I congratulated her even personally. It is wonderful chanting she makes. So this third one is meant for the obeisance to our gurus, because we have seen already how Saraswati appears to you, Desika Rupena Darshadaya. The same Jnana Shakti, which is embedded into one Om, Omkara Panjana Sukhi, in a cage called Om, the entire knowledge is embedded and enclosed. And same knowledge is sung beautifully like a cuckoo, kokila, in a garden called Upanishads. That means the entire Brahmajnanam, which is embedded into Om itself, Om Ityekaksharam Brahma, which is manifesting as Brahmajnanam manifested in the Upanishads, beautifully like music of koel singing in the Vasanta Ritu. Now these days you can hear that koel singing. And the same knowledge power is expressed in the Vedas, which are vast like forest, endless, vast and wild and impenetrable and difficult to get going. That is the nature of the Vedas. Agama Vipina Mayuri. So she is the peacock dancing most beautifully in the forest of knowledge called Vedas. So that knowledge, how does it appear to you? Because you are an individual. You can't take the whole thing one shot. It's not possible. So it is appearing to a channel. That channel is your own Guru. Desika Rupena Darshana. For what purpose? Abhyudaya. Otherwise, you remain like an animal. When you are born and brought up in the babyhood, you are like a vegetable or animal. You didn't know anything. It is only by learning process that you have reformed yourself, and today you are a scholarly person. And so that whole journey is happening as a progress in life through the teacher, and Saraswati is appearing through the channel of a teacher. So in fact, one of my students said in once that, I am like a TV channel. So there are so many TV channels. So teacher is a TV channel to impart knowledge to you in a particular dimension or direction or domain. So that is what is the importance of Guru. Guru's role is the highest, next to mother and father. That's why we have Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, and Acharya Devo Bhava. So Acharya, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, that is a statement in the Shruti itself, in the Upanishad itself. Who will acquire the knowledge? He who has a teacher. Otherwise, it's not possible. You remain where you are. You will be uplifted, elevated gradually by the teacher, and therefore the compassion of the teacher is what you seek. So this third sloka, it is not a Veda mantra, it is a sloka, but it is a wonderful composition or explain the greatness of the Guru. I don't have to tell you, all of you were probably already gurus to your children, or some of you might have been teachers, some of you might have delivered many lectures or courses, and in future, some of you will become teachers because we are giving a certificate also for this course. You can teach what you know. Of course, you cannot teach what you don't know. If you teach what you don't know, you will be caught and made naked. So please don't ever try to teach what you don't know. You teach only what you know thoroughly. Otherwise, you will be caught and exposed. So the greatness of Guru has been explained in this sloka. You can all understand very clearly the words. I don't have to explain word by word. And it is a prayer to the teachers. I am a baby of the teacher. Please bless me. Please elevate me. Please take me along with you to the higher levels. So next, Satya, you go to the next.
Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmahe.
Okay, now Hayagriva is the manifestation of Lord Vishnu in a particular context. He had a face of a horse at that particular context. So not that Vishnu has a face of horse all the time. He has manifested in various, not only avatars, but various other temporary manifestations also. So that's why it's called Hayagriva, but he is Vishnu only. So the main emphasis or the main attribute of Hayagriva is knowledge. Jnananandamayam devam nirmala spatikakrutim is like a pure crystal. Adharam sarva vidyana. That is, how do you explain this? All vidyas are based on the human mind. And why yoga has got the highest status? Because it is the science of human mind. All sciences are acquired by the human mind. And what is the science of human mind itself? That is yoga itself. And what is the basis for human mind? That is pure consciousness, Atma Chaitanyam, Buddha Chaitanyam. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhuta Vyavasthita. I am the self of all, he told. So that self is the basis for the mind, and the mind is basis for knowledge, and knowledge is basis for the universe. So that pure self is Narayana, Vishnu himself. So Jnananandamayam devam nirmala spatika. It is pure consciousness, unconditioned, no attributes, no vikaras, no gunas. Nirgunam. Nirmala spatika krutim. Adharam sarva vidyanam. It's the basis for all vidyas. If the pure consciousness, Vishnu, Chaitanyam, Narayana is not there, no knowledge is possible for any vidya, because mind itself is not there. So mind is a vikaram in the pure consciousness. That's why we are attributing Hayagriva, Narayana, Vishnu as the pure consciousness. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalas spatikakrutim adharam sarva vidyanam hayagrivam upasmane. In fact, it is said by simply repeat Hayagriva, Hayagriva, Hayagriva 3 times minimum, and any number of times, 10 times, 11 times, then you will automatically, your brain will get activated and your knowledge will start entering into you. Go to the next one, Satyaji.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram.
Wonderful. So friends, yesterday was the birthday of Adi Shankaracharya himself, who is the Guru of Gurus. We are all the disciples of Adi Shankaracharya. Yesterday I wound up early to participate in another online session, whose link also I have sent you. Every day it is going on morning and evening from 7 o'clock onwards. Yesterday I have participated in the inaugural session. I am giving my own lecture on 30th evening. So yesterday, the Adi Shankaracharya Jayanti context, the Shankaracharya himself, Vidushekara Ananda of Sringeri, he himself gave a lecture in that session. I attended that session. I was very enthralled. He gave a lecture in Sanskrit. It was beautiful, fantastic lecture. So, birthday of Adi Shankaracharya, we are honored. It is our privilege to remember Adi Shankaracharya, the Guru of all our Gurus. Because if you go on taking all Gurus, they all belong to finally Adi Shankaracharya's lineage. Whichever sannyasi, whichever sampradaya, even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he belonged to Dashanami Sampradaya, which was set up by Adi Shankaracharya. In fact, the Kumbh Mela is set up by Adi Shankaracharya, where all these sampradayas, sadhus go there. So, the Adi Shankaracharya is the original Guru, and even if anybody wants to take sannyasa today, it has to be on the name of Adi Shankaracharya. In fact, I was surprised, pleasantly surprised in Kasi when I was asked to perform one Pinda Pradhanam to Adi Shankaracharya himself, apart from my own Gurus. After finishing all my Pitru Devtas and Matru Devtas and various other relatives, they said, now you perform Pinda Pradhanam to your friends first and then your Gurus. And then finally to Adi Shankaracharya himself I performed. So the entire human being, the entire society, Indian society is indebted to Adi Shankaracharya, whom we are remembering on the occasion of his birthday yesterday. So this sloka is meant for that. So this sloka is praising Adi Shankaracharya, who is the Kali Yuga Guru. In fact, he himself declared Kalau Shankarakhyam, he himself declared he is the Kali Yuga Guru. And Vyasa was the Dwapara Yuga Guru. And Vasishta was the Treta Yuga Guru. And the Krita Yuga Guru is Dakshinamurti or Dattatreya, Dakshinamurti. So these are the various yugas and the gurus. So we prostrate to all of them by prostrating to our own Guru, who is Adi Shankaracharya, and his birthday celebration started yesterday. And this Vaishakha Masam has many important personalities' birthdays. Even Hanuman Jayanti was there recently after Sri Ramanavami. And then we also have many other gurus. I think Ramanujacharya also birthday falls in the same period. And many others fall in the same period. And in that list, birthdays in Vaishakha Masam, I also was born in Vaishakha Masam on the Saptami, on the Garuda Saptami. So all the people who are interested in philosophical matters, who have delved deep into this, are usually found to be born. Not that other times they are not born, but you find many of the personalities, leading personalities born in this Vaishakha Masam. It's a great month. Like Kartik Masam is a great month, Vaishakha is also a great month. So in fact, there is a Vaishakha Mahatyam, one of the Puranas. So now the Shankaracharya's greatness, I don't have to tell you. He lived only for 32 years, but he became Jagat Guru. He did basically three major activities. One is he wrote the commentaries to the Upanishads. I told you yesterday also, to the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, Prasthana Trayi. Then he wrote explanatory text called Prakarana Grandhas, each one by independently. Each one starts with zero level and then takes you all the way to the Brahmajnanam, Atmajnanam, Atma Sakshatkar. Like texts like Atma Bodha, Vivek Chudamani. There are a large number of texts. Totally there are around 300 texts. And one of them is a Yoga Shastra. Only one he wrote on Yoga Shastra, Yoga Taravali, which I covered yesterday in detail. Then coming to the rest of his Sahityam, it is the stotras of all the major deities, because he, after establishing, this is one activity of literature. The second activity is that he went around the entire country. Then he has revived many temples, including the Badri temple itself. I was told yesterday by Shankaracharya himself that in the Badri Narayana, who is right now there in the yoga pose, that Vigraham was found to be submerged in the ice waters of Alaknanda river in Badri, underground, I mean, at the bottom of the river. And for hundreds of years before Adi Shankaracharya went, maybe by some miscreants or Buddhists or whosoever they are. So it was Adi Shankaracharya himself who took a dive into the ice waters to the bottom of the river, Alaknanda. It is so cold that you can't put your finger. If you put your finger, you will get a shock and you will collapse. It is so cold. I have been there, Badri. He just took a dive deep into it, went to the bottom of the river and brought out the Vigraham of Badri Narayana and re-established the Badri Narayana temple. So this is just one example. He has conducted many debates and discussions where he defeated the theories proposed in the philosophical domain by Buddhist Jains, Charvaka, Lokayata, and Kapalika, and so many other, about 72 different religious denominations existed at his time. Of course, Islam and Christianity did not exist because he was around 500 BC period. So these religions came much later. So that is a major activity he did apart from the literature. Literature he wrote mostly either at Omkareshwaram, where he learned his studies under the Govinda Bhagavatpada and Gaudapada, the dynasty in the Omkareshwaram cave, where the Shiva temple is there, where Shiva appeared to Mandhata. I went there some time back, many times I went. And my own guru, Srinaranda Bharti, belongs to that area, and his Guru Parampara comes from this classmate of Adi Shankaracharya himself in that Omkareshwara Narmada cave. And then he went to Kasi and he lived in Kasi for many years, where he wrote many books. And then finally he settled in Kedarnath and he left his body in Kedarnath. That's why the Samadhi of Adi Shankaracharya is established in Kedarnath by Prime Minister. Recently it was inaugurated. And our Prime Minister himself performed tapasya in Kedarnath before he joined back the political system. And so Kedarnath is the place where he lived in the deep Himalayas on the Mandakini river beyond Badri. And in fact, Badri is on one side and Kedar is on the other side. Mandakini river comes from Kedarnath, Alaknanda comes from Badri, both join together at Devaprayag, so Rudraprayag. And then the Bhagirathi coming from Gangotri joins this combination at Devaprayag to become Ganga for the first time in Rishikesh. So I suggest all of you take a journey. I have tracked Ganga from its birth to its merger into the ocean. I went right up to Gaumukh glacier, where drop by drop the glacier melts and Ganga is created and comes to Gangotri and goes into Devaprayag becomes Ganga at Rishikesh and then flows all the way to Calcutta, Diamond Harbour, where it merges with the ocean, Ganga Sagar Sangamam. I went to all these places. In fact, our Gautam Mukherjee himself accompanied me into the Ganga Sagar Sangam Yatra, which I made many years back. So this entire path of Ganga, Adi Shankaracharya has largely covered, and he has the next thing he did was to establish the Shankar Mats, the 4 directions of the country. He has Sringeri and then Puri, Dwarka and Badri. On the way to Badrinath, you will find one Joshi Mat. Recently there was some earthquake and all that there. So that is where the Shankaracharya Mats are there, and the uninterrupted continuity of the head of the Mat since Shankaracharya himself till today is in process. And he posted the people from one end of the country and another end of the country. The main Raval or the chief priest of Badrinath is a Nambudri Brahmin from Kerala. And the head of Sringeri Mutt was from North India to start with. So that way he ensured the full integration of the country. He has established the Kumbh Melas. There are no words which can explain the contribution of Adi Shankaracharya to this country and its identity and existence, continuity of the tradition of Hinduism. And having established the 4 Shankar Mats at Kanchi, he established not only the Sri Chakra Pratishtha of Kamakshi, but he has also established what are called the Shanmatas. That's why he is known as Shanmata Sthapanacharya. The Nirguna Parabrahman Om cannot be comprehended by any mind for sake of Upasana. So he has summarized the entire 72 different Upasana Paddhatis of his time into 6, right, merging into 6. One is Shiva, other is Vishnu, other is Shakti, other is Ganapati, other is Kartikeya, and other is Surya, or Navagrahas. So the entire country or entire world, only these Devatas, various versions, like Shiva, we have Veerashaivas, we have Kapalikas, and we have Okaligas, we have Lingayats, and so many other categories now. So at that time also, many of those people were there. So he merged all of them into one channel, Shiva. And again, coming to Vishnu, we have the Veera Vaishnavas, and we have Ayanga, we have Ramanuja, and we have so many others today. At that time also, they had many. So he merged into Vishnu one. And then Shakti again, we have the Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, that is Saraswati, Lakshmi, Durga in different Navadurgas, Ashtalakshmis, and different forms of Saraswati, Leela, and so on. So he merged all of them into one Shakti. And similarly, Ganapati. Ganapati is a major deity in Maharashtra and also in Tamil Nadu. So Ganapati is one channel. And then Kartikeya, that is Subramanya in Tamil Nadu particularly. That is, he is worshipped as the supreme being. So that is one channel. And coming to the last, which is Surya, Saura Upasana, that is in Orissa region, Surya Upasana was going on, and many other places. And along with Surya, the Navagrahas, even today we worship all the Navagrahas. So that is one channel we established. So 6 Matas, Shanmata Sthapanacharya. So all these Devatas are windows or gateways into the same Parabrahman, which is Omkaram, which is Nirgunam. These are Sagunams. So Nirguna Upasana, Saguna Upasana, Ishvara Upasana, the entire Upasana process he has established based on Yoga and Vedanta together. And he defeated the nihilists like Buddhists who said nothing is finally existing by defeating them, saying that it's not nothing, but it is everything. So we'll come into those discussions some other time. So Adi Shankaracharya's contributions are extensive, and we have no words, any number of words, any number of slokas are not adequate to pray our obeisance and respect to Adi Shankaracharya. Next, Satyan.
Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha.
Wonderful. This is about Dakshinamurti. There is a story associated how our Dakshinamurti name came. The story was told to me by one of my teachers who taught me Mantra Shastra. So the story goes to say that the Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, the 4 great Brahmajnanis, who are always young in their age, but they are very old. They are the Brahmas, Manasaputras. So one day they had a doubt. Who is our Guru? We want a Guru. We want a Guru, and who is our Guru? Please mute your mics. Mute your mics. So they said, okay, first we'll search for our Guru. First they thought our own father, Brahma himself, would be our Guru. So they went to Brahmaloka. And Brahma was there and Saraswati was there in a manifest form, though their unmanifest forms also exist. So Brahma was looking at Saraswati when she was playing the Veena. So they thought this man is corrupted. He is looking at females. So no point, he cannot be our guru. So they left and went to Vaikuntham. And there it was even worse situation because Lakshmi Devi was pressing the legs of Vishnu by touching. At least Brahma was only looking, but here he is touching. So then they know no use. So they went to the third Kailasam. And they were shocked to death to see that it was much worse there because both were merged into one. Ardhanarishwar. Then they thought, we don't have a guru, it's not possible to have a guru. Let us return back. So Kailasam is in north. So they were turning to the south and returning back to the south. And suddenly in the south, one Murti appeared, Dakshina Murti. Shiva himself manifested as a young man and who is totally brilliant and silent and a very unique appearance. He was radiating with wisdom. Then they thought, he is the right person. He is our guru. So they went to him, they sat at his feet, and he was sitting under a banyan tree. So the guru gave the Upadesham. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. He gave a reluctant lecture of silence. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Vivanam Vasishtante Rasasagunai Avrutai Brahmanishthai Racharyendram Karakalita Chinmudram Anandarupam Swatmaramam Muditavadram Dakshinamurti Mide. He was sitting in Chinmudra, he was smiling, he was in bliss, he never spoke anything. These people simply sat around him and they got their doubts cleared. Vruddha Sishya Gurur Yuva, Gurostu Mauna Vyakhyanam Sishyastu Chinna Samshaya, Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. The Parabrahma Tattvam was expressed in an eloquent lecture of silence. Mauna Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. Yuvanam Vasishtante Rasadrashagunai Avrutai Brahmanishthai. They are Brahmanishthas. Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudram Anandarupam Swatmaramam Muditavadanam Dakshinamurti Mide. So you all seen the Dakshinamurti's image in many temples. It is there in Kalhasti temple. It is there in many temples. He is supposed to have been somewhere at Tiruvannamalai, and it is not very far from Kalhasti. And so the Sanaka Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, Sanat Sujata, they're all very great people. And they themselves got enlightenment from the Dakshinamurti appearance of Shiva, which is a kind of an avatar of Shiva. And we have a lineage of the disciples from Dakshinamurti, Nandishwara and so on. So we have a whole list of Siddha Purushas. In our notes, it is given various Siddhas and where they have manifested themselves and where they have taken Samadhi. Like Patanjali took Samadhi at Rameshwaram, and somebody else somewhere else, like this Dattatreya at Girnar. And so all those details are there in our notes of the Siddhas. So Dakshinamurti is Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti. The three Murtis, Ishvara, Guru and self, yourself. There are only three different manifestations, Murtis, but the self is only one. Like space, Akashavat, Sarvatra, Vyomavat, Vyaptarupaya. The spread, the self is only one. It is spread infinitely everywhere. It is only manifest as three forms, Murtis, but it is only one self. So that one self is explained in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, written by Adi Shankaracharya himself. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. The Parabrahma Tattvam, which was expressed by Dakshinamurti, is explained in that Stotram. I will explain some other time that entire Dakshinamurti Stotram. So this sloka is addressing Dakshinamurti, who is the guru of Krutayugam, and all this happened in the beginning of the creation, before the Treta, Dwapara, Kali, all this came. So that time he was the guru of Jagat Guru, and the greatest scholars and wise people with greatest wisdom were his disciples, Sanatana, Sanat Kumar, Sanat Surya. Okay, now let us go to the next question.
Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Wonderful. This is again from the Upanishads. So it is a prayer praying for going from untruth to truth. Asataha Sat. Away from Asat, going into Sat. What is Asat and what is Sat? Asat is untruth. We are living in Asat, in Maya, in the universe of Maya. So the Sat is Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the definition of Brahman. That which is truth, that which is knowledge, and that which is infinite. That is the definition of Supreme Being, God, Ishvara, Brahman. So from Maya, this Maya Moha in which we are living, Samsara Halahala Moha Shantyai, we have said yesterday, from this miserable hell of a poison of this worldly life, this is Asat. Asato Ma, I don't want this Asat, but I want Sat. Take me to the Sat. Gamaya, take me, lead me to the Sat, truth. Tamasoma, and obviously this is darkness, not darkness, but truth. That is light. Jyotir Gamaya. Antar Jyotir, Bahit Jyoti. What is Jyoti? Jyoti does not mean simply physical light. Physical light is visible to the eyes, and the eyes will see only when the mind exists, and the mind will exist only when the self exists. Only when the self, pure consciousness, that is the real Jyoti. Real light is the self. Atma Jnanam, Atma Jyoti. Antar Jyoti, Bahit Jyoti, Pratyak Jyoti, Paratpara. Jyoti, Jyoti, Swayam Jyoti, Atma Jyoti, Shivosmyaham. So the Atma Jyoti is the real Jyoti, that is real light. Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya. And when you reach that, you obviously transcended death. Ruchorma Amrutam Gamaya. Otherwise, you are in the world of death. Everything is dying. Everybody dies. The body dies. Body is taking birth and dying. So the birth and death continues to happen. So from this kind of death, Mrutam to Amrutam. Mruchorma Amrutam. It is immortal. In fact, the Upanishad says, "O sons of immortality, Amrutasya Putra." So we are all the Amruta, immortality. How to reach immortality is the main purpose of the Brahmajnanam, to become immortal. When you realize that you are already immortal, which you are Brahman and not the Jiva. So the body is mortal, but not the self. The self is Atma, which is Brahman, Ayamatma Brahma. So Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Vichorma Amritanga. Once you reach that, you have transcended three types of dukkhas: Adhivautika, Adhaivika, Adhyatma. That is why Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay, next.
Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava.
Yeah, this is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. This is the convocation address after finishing the education in the Gurukulas. The students who were leaving the Snatakam, that is what is performed in the marriage also, Snatakam. So at that time, they chanted these mantras. Let your mother be your worshipable, adorable deity. Let your father be your deity. Let your teacher be your deity. Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. Then fourth one is Atithi. Atithi means date. Atithi means a person who comes to you without any date. Suddenly he comes. You should treat him like God. Not only your mother, father, and teacher, but also Atithi. That is the hospitality principle. So, in fact, there are many more orders, injunctions immediately after this in the same Upanishad. Yan karmani tani sevitavyani no itarani. You shall perform all actions in your life as prescribed to you by your teachers during your course and not anything else. Like they have already been told, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyaya Ma Pramada, Deva Pitrakarya Bhyam Ma Pramcha, Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam Ma Pramaditavyam. Don't be complacent about learning and teaching. All the other things, you follow only that and nothing else. No promiscuity and liberty to do whatever you like. But you should do what has been told. Yani alavadhyani karmani tani sevitavyani no itarani. So this orders which are given, Yesha Adeshaha, Yesha Upadeshaha, Yesha Vedopanishad. We have studied the Taittiriya Upanishad. This is the Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, and so on. Other orders have been given, which I have just explained. This is the last one. Is that the last, Satyaji? Anything more?
There's one more. Sahana Bhavatu.
Yes.
Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Yeah, this is a Veda mantra again. This is a Shanti mantra, which is quoted in various Upanishads. In fact, this is chanted in the various contexts, even in the context of marriage or in the context of a class, because there are more than one party involved. Now, Saha is cooperation. In fact, the word Saha becomes S is equivalent to C, like cooperate, co-educate, coexist. So doing together. Saha means doing together. Sahanau avatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai. We shall work together. We shall achieve the results together. We shall put all our powers. Viryam karavavahai. And then we get the results. Bhunaktu. Sahanavavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. We shall all together become great. Tejasvi. Ma vidvishavahai. In that process, let us not fight. Let us not have hatred, mutual hatred and conflicts. That process of working together, in a marriage also, the husband and wife have to work together in running the samsara chakram and getting the children and now grahasthashramam. So in an educational pedagogy, the teacher and student are working together. So in every class, this is chanted in the beginning. In the Veda chanting or Upanishad chanting or any class, you should chant this because the teacher and student are putting efforts together. Other students also together. Sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu. And we should not have conflicts and fights and arguments. You know what happens in a marriage if there are fights and conflicts, life will become miserable. So it's warning in advance. Ma vidvishavahai. Don't have hatred with each other, no conflicts. Work together, because only when you work together you will get the results. Otherwise, single man cannot achieve anything. So even for learning, pedagogy, you need a teacher and students both. Teacher alone will not have any purpose served, and student alone cannot have any purpose served. So it's a joint effort. So in fact, in the same Taittiriya Upanishad, many joint efforts have been explained. How the child is the outcome of marriage, and how the knowledge is the outcome of pedagogy, and how so many other joining cooperative efforts have been explained. So sahanavavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. That's it. We have finished today. Now I'll open the session for question answers. Balance time.
Yeah, ధన్యవాదములండి. Only thing I was just thinking, we have at the end of the class also Shanti Mantram. If you can also address them.
Okay. You want to do now or first you have question answers and then
Okay. Let us have question answers. Let us have it from chat.
The chat questions are okay. I'll read it out because it has been posted. So the first question is from theory lectures. What I understand is 4 types of yogas: Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Is my understanding correct?
yes.
Right. The second question
Hatha Yoga is part of Raja.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
The next question is the thing. Hatha Yoga, branch of Raja Yoga. Is there a difference between Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga? Is my question correct?
No, it is part only. Hatha Yoga is physical aspects and Raja Yoga is the higher level aspects. So there is a merger point. Pranayama is the merger point between the two. So Vina Hatha Raja is useless and Vina Raja Hatha Yoga is useless. In the sense, those who teach Raja Yoga without Hatha Yoga, they will not get correct results. And those who teach only Hatha Yoga without Raj Yoga, they remain physical. That is what is happening in the Western world too. Okay, next.
Right. The next question is, I am used to a different set of pradhana consisting of Sukama,
Shuklam Bharadaram.
Suklambardaram, Saraswati Namastabhyam, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Aditya Hridayam, and Japakosama. Can I continue with that, or I have to change it to the set that you are?
No, you can
asking us to do?
continue. You can continue with, but for our course, we have taken this. Not that whole life we have to do only this. You can continue with whichever you like.
Okay. Right.
I
So-
think you can add these also to whatever you do.
Right. I mean, there's no harm. Okay. Is there any sequence to engage bandhas and release them, or can be done?
Yes, I have already shown the sequence. Jalandhara, Udyana, Mula. That is sequence. Then combination all the three together. The Mahabandha.
Is Maha.
Okay.
I think
Next.
that's the end of the questions on the chat box.
Okay, now you can directly ask questions. You are all unmuted, no problem. One by one, raise your hand and then ask questions. Okay, without raising hand, ask questions. I think we are finishing the course, so all doubts are cleared. Tomorrow is exam also.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. I am beyond 75 and I would like to know what are the asanas specifically you can suggest for such people without having much of the physical strain.
No, what is the question?
For the people who are aged beyond 75 or so, among these asanas and pranayama, etc., what are the specifically you can
No, I
suggest?
already
for-
told you. No, I have already told you the Sukshma Ayama, which is
Yeah.
performed in standing. That is easiest.
Yes, sir.
So entire body is covered and it keeps you fit. Anybody can do it. Child also can do it. Old man also can do it. Then, in addition to Sukshmayama, whichever asanas you are able to manage to perform, you perform them.
Yeah, I have a,
Don't do things which are dangerous or risky or painful.
thank you.
There's a question on the
Pranayama
chat.
can be done.
Yeah, there's a question on the chat box.
Namaskaram,
Please-
sir.
Just a minute. Just a minute. There's a question on the chat box. Is Mahakbandha in emptiness or Kumbhaka?
Empty. Because Udyana Bandha is emptiness. That is Bahya Kumbhaka.
Okay.
Udyana Bandha is only emptiness. Bahya Kumbhaka. No Kumbhakam there. So Mahabandha is obviously in the exiled emptiness state. It is Bahya. Good question. Next.
Now you can go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, somebody else wanted to speak? What is that? Okay. Now, shall we go for Shanti Mantram explanation?
Yes, the last part.
Yeah.
Satyaji, will you chant one by one again the last
Yes.
items?
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु.
Wonderful. So after finishing the program, in any program, this is chanted. This is Swasti Vachanam. Swasti means may good happen. Su Asti is Swasti. We have that Swastika also. You remember that 2 Zs. So Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Yayena Margena Mahim Mahisha. So Praja means common people. Mahi means earth. Bhumi. Mahisha are the kings. So may kings are the rulers. Nowadays we don't have kings, but we have rulers. We have the bureaucracy, we have the political circle, we have the executive, we have the judiciary, three parts, which are previously all three put into one king only. So now three parts are. So these people who rule the government and the judiciary, all these people, may they rule properly. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha. They may, this is a wishing or blessing or a wish, may they rule as per the nyaya, dharma, as per justice. Go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam. Let there be welfare to go and brahmana. Go means cattle, both cow and ox, without which there is no dairy, there is no agriculture. Without ox, there is no agriculture. Without cow, there is no dairy. There is no food. Agriculture gives food and adi panta, and cow gives the milk, without which you cannot exist. So go has to be protected. And why brahmana? Brahmana is a teacher. Suppose there is no teacher, then everybody will become illiterate and a fool. So go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam. And loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all be very happy. Kale varshatu parjanyaha prithvi sasya shalini. Let there be good rainfall, let there be green crops. Deshoyam kshobarahitaha brahmana santu nirbhaya adhana sadhana santu aputrina putrina santu putrina santu pautrinaha. Those who don't have children, they may get children, and those who don't have grandchildren may get grandchildren. It's a blessing. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Next.
Kale Vashchat Pajanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahito Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrina Santu Putrina Santu Pautrinaha Adhana Sadhana Santu Jivantu Sharadam Shatam
Maybe
Satyam
all live for
Vada.
100 years. Maybe live off for 100 years. And may everybody become adequately moneyed. Adhana sadhana santu. Jivantu saradam santu. Let us live 100 years. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara Swadhyayanma Pramadaha.
Yeah. Speak truth. These are again from the Taittiriya Upanishad Snataka convocation address. Just like Matrudeva Bhava, Pitrudeva Bhava. Again, similar instructions are speak truth. Dharmam Chara. That is the first one, in fact, in the entire convocation address. The first is Satyam Vada. Second is Dharmam Chara. Swadhyayat ma prama. Don't stop learning. Yeah. Next.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani paschyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. May everybody become happy. Sarve santu niramaya. Amaya means problem. Health problem, mental problem, so many problems. Let them be freed from problems. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani paschyantu. That is, let them all have good things in life happening. Sarve bhadrani paschyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhaya. Not even one person should become miserable. This is a wish. It's a blessing and wish. It's a global blessing.
Purnamada.
Shanti, Shanti. That is 3 times peace, as every time we say 3 times, because Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika, Adhyatmika Dukkha to be calmed down. So finally, go ahead.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Yeah, this is a Veda mantra. This is a Shanti mantra, which is repeated in all the Upanishads again and again. So it is talking of the highest philosophy here. Purna Vada. Ada means Adi. That one is Purna. That is Purna, perfect, infinite, eternal. Purna Vidam. This also is perfect, infinite, eternal. What is that and what is this? You can have different interpretations. That means Supreme Being, Brahman, God. This means this universe, this Jiva, the samsaram in which we live. This is also Purnam, that is also Purnam. This universe is Purnam, Brahman is Purnam. Purnasya Purnam Adaya. This Purnam has come from that Purnam. Even after having come, that Purnam remains the same. 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, Purnam. So that is Purnam, this is Purnam, and this Purnam came out of that Purnam, but even then it remains Purnam. Because this Purnam is nothing but a manifestation of that Purnam. This is Maya. So Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva avasishyate. The remainder is also Purnam. Therefore, peace, peace, peace. 3 levels. Adi Bhavati, Adi. That's all.
Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
Thank you. Dhanyavadam, Nandi. You have explained these things. As you said, we should have known this meaning right in the beginning, but nevertheless, never too late. So we'll have this video handy to all of us so that whenever we have any doubts, we will refer to that. So you'd like to say anything more on whatever?
No, we have finished this course. Tomorrow also, is there a session or there's no session tomorrow? Only exam.
Only exam. Only exam, both practical and theory. You will be coming, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So-
After we finish our practicals, then we will go for the theory.
Yeah. So I'm honored to have delivered this course, the entire 3 months course. It has been my dream for a long time. This is 3rd batch we have successfully delivered. And the dream became a reality with the help of great personalities like Prabhu Garu and Bob Garu and others, and also Chitu Babu, who have helped this time a lot. And so I'll be honored if you have found any benefit out of this course. I'm sure you will derive some benefits or other, both theory and practical aspects of Sanatana Dharma, which are centered on yoga. So I thank you all for patiently going through this course and deriving some benefit out of this knowledge, which we try to deliver. I think we'll close now. Thank you.
Thank you. Dhanyavadam, Nandi. So now, shall we close early today? Okay. We have already done the Shanti Mantra, but not to get out of the track, let us do Prarthana. Satyaji.
Okay, sure. Okay. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahishah gobrahmanebhyah subhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasyashalini deshoyam kshobarahito brahmanas santu nirbhayah aputrah putrinas santu pautrinah adhana sadhana santu जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति.
Dhanyavadam, Nandi. Satya Garu. Now, let us recite national anthem. Let us request Chala Chittibabu Garu to recite national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय जय
ధన్యవాదములండి చాలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.
धन्यवाद